Lords and ladies, welcome back to MyStreet 5 years later with your host, Jacob Butter. Well, we made it. And I know this isn't quite the end. We still have Phoenix Drop days to do when it comes to November, December time. But yeah, despite everything, as far as, episodes that are named MyStreet that goes, this is the most recent one. And it just turned 5 years old. Hard to believe that in my second year of university, during the pandemic, this when 5 years later started. 4 years ago at this very point. I mean, MyStreet itself ran for that long, but I mean, that's quite something. And I haven't really properly internalized that, because while I've been here in Galicia, it's been mostly it's been mostly me trying to keep up with other stuff on the main channel, and also use the holiday that I've had and everything. But yeah, now that I'm actually in this moment, it kind of hits me that yeah, we're almost done in a lot of senses. I mean, yeah, it's been a long project, that's for sure. I mean, going through every single MyStreet themed episode, even ignoring some of the other role plays that aphmau did back in 2017, and other times as well, which I might consider, continuing this with. But yeah, like the original project of, bringing back or giving people understanding of, what MyStreet really was at a time when it had directly faded, and it also been you know what, I'll save all that stuff for the end, because if I start doing that now, then I'll have nothing to say towards the end of this video. And yeah, we don't want that. We're here for me to talk. And oh, I just realized something. I forgot to prepare something else, so give me a second. And we're back. Sorry about that. I had to go and collect this actual cinema popcorn this time, a true upgrade, and as well as this, which I think is probably one of the closest approximations to the Levi cup from the poster that we've had. So pretty fitting. Okie dokie. Now we get on to the actual video itself, which is right here. So without further ado, on with the review. This right here is probably one of my favorite visuals of the actual all of MyStreet. Just the way that this was done and pulled off. And I can still only fathom how it was executed, but I think I know, but it's still impressive. 1 week later, they have to stay here even longer. It was already bad enough to begin with. For them, I mean, not like for us. Went from summer to summer. Went from a summer set in the future in season 5 to the same summer being set in the past in season 6 at the end. 3 years of time in Starlight, actually, which was a significant time considering that MyStreet aired for 4, when I think about it. That's what, like 2 years, actually. Yeah, 2 years in Starlight, but still. A significant chunk when you think about it. And we get a panning shot like this that we got from the beginning episode of season 6. So while of course this was not meant to wrap up the whole of MyStreet, it at least wrapped up itself. And I think that's why this callback is here rather than, the others one might expect for a finale of the show.
A news briefing from the Guardian Forces has confirmed the suspected death of the Ultima. Judge Silverwind led the briefing earlier today from Rhineport.
I'm sorry. News has confirmed the suspected death. I think they mean the death was suspected before and now it's been confirmed, but that's a little bit of clumsy phrasing, I think. It's like, well, we can confirm that we think the Ultima's dead. I don't know. Is he? Well, you'll never find out. I'm surprised this place still has customers, but whatever. Importantly, though, the announcer is different. So the announcer probably quit before this happened, which I don't blame them.
A tragic incident has occurred over the past few days on the Starlight Islands. The long sought-after Ultima was discovered on the islands over the past month, during which the islands were under a strict blockage carried out by the Guardian Forces. In that time, a regiment was dispatched to the islands to find and capture...
So yeah, this is like national or international news rather than, just the local Starlight reports.
...the Ultima and his relatives.
Judge Silverwind!
You mean, and his relatives, not his relatives. What on earth is... That should have been a retake.
For many years, the public has been led to believe that the Ultima is a myth, a fairy tale, have you? Are you confirming the existence of the Ultima?
Well, a former existence. Not anymore.
I, Judge Silverwind of the Naval Forces, am confirming that the Ultima did exist.
It's interesting that this character is being introduced now. Obviously, you need somebody to report this as someone official. And considering that Toby's still on the island, it has to be somebody outside of that jurisdiction. However, this Judge Silverwind character who just confirmed her name and rank and everything, now that I'm looking at this again, it seems like this was meant to be a character that was going to be more relevant in the future. Someone who might follow up on the Ultima after, after it turns out that he's alive or something. That'd be, another tough nut to crack as far as the Guardian Forces go. The higher ranks from Toby. Someone for him to contend with, maybe. Again, people say that MyStreet Season 6 wrapped up a lot of this stuff, but it wrapped up a lot of what it was set up before, but it also set up plenty of other things that were clearly meant to be developed. That's why, that's why people have been clamoring for Season 7, because it's not complete.
The Guardian Forces had as much knowledge as anyone else. Our soldiers have been using Starlight as training grounds with permission from the Starlight CEO. It was by pure happenstance we were here when the Ultima went on his rampage.
Ah, yes, pure happenstance. I mean, again, it's hard to trust the word of somebody who is, who it was like the judge of the Guardian Forces at this point. Obviously, the military are going to protect their own. We can understand why they would do that and the impact that it has. However, it does bring into question whether or not she actually is covering this up, or she just legitimately didn't know why the owner of Starlight happened to authorize training, the holiday resort for a training ground, because that must have looked mightily suspicious. Please, my holiday resort full of, paying civilian guests. Kindly use this for your training grounds. I insist. Like, that's going to raise a few red flags, I think. But, what? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I'm not in a place with any with a significantly pronounced military or anything. There he is, though. That was my segue.
That is
I
true.
didn't have a better one. I didn't have a better segue.
Cool.
That was all I had.
Our soldiers fought valiantly against him. Once he was finally cornered, he transformed and went berserk. Tragically, many innocent people lost their lives during his rampage.
Thank you for confirming that, by the way, because I did in fact hold a death counter when I originally reviewed the series, and I was worried that was all going to get undone. At some point, it was like, many people fell unconscious or something, like early Dragon Ball Z censorship kind of deal, where it's like, that if people don't know, in early Dragon Ball Z, in order to try to avoid mentions of death, whenever there be corpses on the ground, you just hear them breathing heavily as if they're just on the ground unconscious. Their eyes are still whited out, of course, because they're not going to go that far, are they? But to cover things up, but they at least they thought that or something would be enough. So there you go.
Is this the reason Starlight is closing?
Yes. It's been a
Well, I mean, also because the owner is dead. That also means
that would do it, I think.
Yeah, which also means that we've jumped to 1 week later, so that means that there's still civilians there who, presumably, since Starlight's closed, they wouldn't be admitting new guests, would they? So I guess everyone's just been stuck there for an additional week on top of being confined by military forces. Honestly, if Starlight weren't closing because the owner was dead, I feel like it would be just drowning in lawsuits. So it would have days at most.
Yeah.
experience for everyone involved. I can assure you that the Guardian forces will be doing everything in our power to ensure the Ultima does not have any surviving relatives. And autopsies.
Relatives. And also, not everyone. Yeah.
Whoops.
Also, what kind of procedure is that? Oh, but we've captured, insert criminal here. Okay, what do we do now? Well, better go after his 5-year-old niece.
Destroy his family.
Yeah. Yeah, just do that. He's got. I heard that his grandfather is retired in like a Tuscan villa. Yeah, let's go internationally. Let's go raid that place. Absolutely.
These will be performed on his corpse with our findings made public. This concludes this.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. What corpse exactly? What are okay, now I can sell the line, because what corpse?
Yeah, no, really.
Thank you. Is Toby en route to the hotel?
They'll be arriving to their location shortly.
Good. Make sure he makes them aware of our intent.
You might not want to have this conversation while you're still being filmed for TV.
This may satiate the ignorant public, but they'll always have someone doubting their word.
This sounds like a different person voicing Agent R. Let me just check the credits for a second. What happened to Chris?
Yeah, that's true. He sounds a little different.
Yeah. He sounds a lot less raspy most of the time. He's like this the whole way. Yeah. Maybe Chris Escalante's voice just gave out. No, it is not. It's Nicholas Andrew Louis. There's actually there's a note in the description. Okay. So Agent R's OGVA has a ton of new opportunities going on with his career. He's wonderful. Oh, sorry, it was Kellen Joff. That was who it was originally. Anyway, he's been a wonderful and talented voice actor to work with. Though, due to schedule conflicts, he has retired his work with my channel for now. Kellen has been an amazing person and an absolute joy to work with. I highly recommend him for any projects. Please be sure to support him and wish him the absolute best for his future. Thank you so much, Kellen, for years. And then I think it was meant to be like a purple heart emoji, but it just says purple heart in the description. Also, please welcome Nicholas as Agent R's new VA. So, yeah, there we go. So we have a new VA for the final episode, which again goes to show this series was not supposed to end. I've heard people say, oh yeah, season 6 was the bittersweet ending that, works in certain ways. No, it doesn't. That was not the plan.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the best they can do for now.
Slip-ups are bound to happen. The fact that Aaron's friends knows he's the Ultima is far too many.
What do you mean?
More people means more chances someone will mess up.
Well, you see why I have no choice.
Well, you could do something. You could, find the headquarters of the Guardian forces, put a not insignificant amount of explosive devices in the core infrastructure, and
I mean, maybe, but but then if they capture him, they'll go after his family. You know what they're like.
I'm just not comfortable with this.
You're starting
too
to sound
bad.
like Derek.
Yeah.
A part of me has always thought of Aaron as a son. And now, he needs that more than ever.
But he doesn't even.
Oh, got him.
I think she was going to say he doesn't even remember you because of what happened last episode, but that's that's gonna be
Yeah,
confirmed in a
that would
second.
make sense.
Kawaii-chan, are you all right? I'm fine. I just.
She just spilled some of her drink on her.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. For a moment there, I thought your wound had.
4 is fine.
Oh, so he still says 4 in this case. Okay, interesting. I thought I for some reason I thought that Zane ended up recovering from that, but I guess not yet. He's at least speaking faster.
I'm sorry, 4.
It's alright.
Other 4.
Smooth, Zane.
Zane's as smooth as me now.
Wow. Okay.
Mom!
Yeah, violence. Jesus.
Yeah. Also, I will. As much as this, as I say, this doesn't wrap up everything. It gives Ziana some closure because because she was introduced in this series in the episode where she was concerned that Zane was going to end up, being alone for the rest of his life because he didn't have a date, and there he is right now with a girlfriend. There you go. Good old 4.
Mind control! You should be setting a good example for him!
Mommy, no!
Smack you again!
No, mommy, no! And nothing happens.
Lucinda, no. The love of my life.
Oh, I forgot about that with
You
you.
forgot!
It's because we've only been focusing on Ghosty in that regard, and I forgot that you also were in the Lucinda My Beloved Club.
we stand.
Indeed, you both do, and yeah, all right. My goodness, I was gonna ask if I sent an invite to Aiden, but I don't think he's around. I might get Ghosty. let's bring Ghosty in for the final episode. That's gonna be that's gonna be fun. Give me a second. Fittingly enough, she actually now knows just Ghost on Discord. Let's see. There we go. Get in, loser. We're reviewing MyStreet.
I mean, Lucinda is Dark Mother, so of course.
Dark Mother?
Yeah.
What?
Well, she's like, I don't know, like Red Eyes powers.
Okay, I have a very specific association with the word with like the Dark Mother as a character. It's because in remember Last Week, the series that was the one that I trained with Pika. Yeah, that one. There is that one of the enemies is called Dark Mother. So yeah.
Okay, no, for me it's just like the archetype Dark Mother.
I see.
Like
okay.
the ocean, the storms.
Still trying?
Huh?
Right.
It's all right,
No, it's not.
It's all right, you don't need you don't need to live by a thing that not only has defined your life for yourself, but also something you really enjoy doing and you were very good at. No, it's all right if you don't have that anymore. Like, I know what Caitlin's trying to say here, but it's
find
not going to
something
come
new
across
to
that
do
way.
with your life.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm nothing without my magic. It's how I live. It's basically how I function.
Lucinda, you can do without your magic.
Caitlin's right.
You're still the sassy, snarky, and sometimes kinda a bit.
What Ghost is trying to say.
Okay, I think there was a
Yeah, but
miscommunication in the script there.
Yeah,
Because
it's possible.
I think Megami 33 interpreted that line as kind of a bit like sassy or a bit whatever, blah blah blah. But actually, what it was probably meant to be just like an incomplete version of a different word. Because sometimes aphmau likes to get a little bit more risque with some of these jokes.
That is true.
Your magic doesn't define who you are. We still love you.
But also, if what Kim was saying was meant to be true, I don't really think it is necessarily. I mean, the most it's got in that direction was probably be like season 1, but Kim wasn't even around for that, so I don't know what she's talking about
she
here.
could be kind of snarky sometimes on the later seasons, I think. Right?
Maybe.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say before I was so rudely interrupted.
Guys, just understand this is hard for me.
We know, but I'm...
Yeah, you just need like a good old support system. People that love you, Lucinda. Speaking of whom, hi, Ghosty. And that's a better segue.
That is a much better segue, yes.
Listen, Lucinda is my babe. I love her very much. But, honey, she's going to need more than a support system. You're going to need someone who can max out her mana pool and get her back up to spell style.
I'm sure that witch doctors are a thing in this universe. We haven't seen them yet, but I'm pretty sure that must be a progression. Come on.
Wait, witch doctors? Like, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang.
They probably exist too, but not what I meant. I mean, if Beyonce exists, then why not? You know?
Oh my god, I love you already. Get over here. We're friends now.
Yeah, this is why like I brought you back.
I'm sure someone can help you when we get back home.
Yeah, you're
Have
right.
this understanding in common.
How about you? How's Travis?
He's recovering.
Yeah.
No, they brought him up again.
Hey, ladies! Sorry to interrupt, but are you guys going to help finish packing?
The editing for Kim and Ghost must be way easier now that they just like occupy the same like space rather than having to constantly switch between the faces and the different camera angles in order to make that work. They just now coexist.
I wish Liongate Resort touched upon this. There would have been
Liongate Resort with clever camera angles? Nah. Absolutely not. Oh my goodness, Anthony, you haven't been there for any of the Liongate reviews yet.
Oh no.
I think we talked about this, you know, how we tend to review like a fan series made in gacha of MyStreet, but as MyStreet characters because it was we were stoned onto the fact that like yeah, because the MyStreet character would be so outraged at how they're represented that we could do a better job improvising than Dogen writing. Anyway.
Lucinda and I have...
Well. I've heard Megami 33 is Bulma, so I've technically heard Kim say that.
Oh. Well, then let's move it to the new room, shall we?
Yeah, we should make sure we're ready to go when the Guardian forces escort us.
Ugh. I'll be happy when I never see another uniform like that again.
You looked good in one, at least.
Oh, shut up.
That's a classic Lucinda line there.
Whew. Conversation averted.
I still don't understand Caitlin's lament over Travis. At least the one she cares for is still alive.
Wow. Tactful.
Should I call you Emmeline from now on?
Yeah. Please don't. There's already an Emmeline that exists.
I don't mind.
Emmeline, Caitlin doesn't know what's going to become of Travis. We're all worried, not just for him, but for aphmau as well.
This seems out of character even for Ghost, because when Zane was threatened, Ghost was also freaking out, and when he offered to help out anyway.
Hasn't been any word on their release?
For aphmau, me, because I am aware of the invincibility plot shield.
I mean, yeah, there is a thing with aphmau and Aaron where, especially now they've both come back from death, where you think like they can practically get through anything with consequences, but they will get through it.
Yeah.
Llama, you're supposed to be dead.
Exactly.
But we're hoping to find out before we depart.
I think that might have been where we got the joke from, was Aaron saying you're supposed to be dead in a mini game to aphmau.
I understand. I'm sorry for my outburst there.
That was an outburst.
I forgive you. But for now, let's try to help keep everyone's mind at ease.
What about that? What about those two? Are you okay?
They're not theirs. You know what? Headcanon time. They blend into the background so much that everyone forgot they were there, so just left a bunch of equipment behind.
Whoopsie.
Don't forget the door.
Death! Fight! God damn it.
Why, you all look surprised to see me.
It should have been. We're expecting you, right?
We're expecting you, but everyone's still paranoid.
They can tell when a Guardian Force member is not
Rightfully so. After everything that happened.
Oh god, they did the gotcha thing. They did the gotcha thing where everyone walks into position, then starts talking. People can walk and talk.
To be honest, that's
Don't blame-
not just a gotcha thing. That is an everything thing.
That's like a school play thing. I've seen it in a few school plays where someone realizes they're not in the mark where they're supposed to be to say a line.
Not like action, professional code. Excuse me, my internet is just going to
Making up.
briefly fall to shambles.
Trust me, it heals with time.
I mean, mine seemed like it was going in the same direction. I had an issue with the stream yesterday when my computer stopped responding 5 separate times.
Yeah, I
Which
know.
also meant
I
I was
saw
unable
it.
to avoid the video not being. Yeah, I was unable to avoid the video the intro not playing, so I got a copyright claim for it.
The time for us to leave.
Soon. In the meantime, I have a few things I wanted to discuss, but first.
Boo!
Boo!
You
Get
should
this
be
on-
dead!
You're supposed
Yes,
to
Die!
Like, that's
To
the
quote
thing.
Moonty, no.
You're literally the
uh-uh.
only character who I wouldn't care if you died. Go away, please!
Listen, I have one big, massive problem with this scene right here.
As do I, but
Other than the fact that aphmau has brought characters back from the dead before, namely her protagonists, her bringing Melissa back from the dead shows us the hand of the author.
Yeah, that is true.
It
It's a little
means
too
that-
on the nose.
It means that in the future, this could happen again with another plot important character.
This is why, this is why we got
Yeah,
Ian back in Lion Gate.
It's giving real Marvel, a side Avenger character dies and comes back, and it's like, oh well, whoops.
Well, everyone
Yeah.
was joking that this was the Marvel endgame of aphmau, so technically we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, like the thing with this is that I said this like 5 years ago when I reviewed this originally, but Melissa was the first character that you thought potentially couldn't come back, because with the Aaron death, that was pretty much confirmed in the next episode that he did come back. In the case of aphmau, she had that same chance given by Irene, and you know what? Okay, fine. The two main characters, whatever, little bit gimmicky, but you can understand, a fake out here or there. But then when it came to Melissa's death and how that impacted like everyone else, that especially Aaron, it feels very cheap to say like, oh, actually they were able to cut her off. Like, I know that I didn't release this video, but I had a theory that Rachel was alive based on the fact that Michael mentioned a few instances of like manipulated, unedited footage that was going to be broadcast to people. That kind of to me implied that, and we don't ever see a body, so Marvel rules, no body, no death. But in the case of Melissa, that was where it kind of started. As people started to say, "Oh, this series is going to get dark, and there are going to be more deaths," this led to which now means the first death was not as shocking. The first actual death of a character, aka Blaze, was not as much of a surprise to people.
I think Aaron's mom coming back would make a bit more sense plot-wise.
Yeah.
Because, we never saw Rachel's body. We just saw footage of not Rachel and the Guardian forces.
Yeah, we also like Aiden doesn't like that theory of mine, and he says that the fact that we see like a flashback or like a projection of Aaron and Rachel together, that means that that's Rachel's spirit. It could very easily be Aaron's mind projecting a version of Rachel, so that he himself became a child in that very scene. But that's where he goes with that. It's like, oh yeah, we saw Rachel after she was dead, and she confirmed that. It's like, well, yeah, but if it's in Aaron's mind and he thinks she's dead, then of course that she would say that to him, because that's what he would know to be true. But unfortunately, he's not here for me to reiterate that again.
Yeah, I
a whole
think
thing about that in the previous
Rachel
stream.
being alive has a little bit more evidence and would have a little more emotional weight behind it, as opposed to Aaron's sister. But I guess Aaron's sister coming back does make a bit more sense, because she has had the majority of the screen time.
And also, she was a fan favorite around this point, which is another thing. This show had like the audacity to to kill off a fan favorite, except no, it didn't.
It did, but
go
it
back
didn't.
On that.
It
This
did,
would have
but
been
it
a decision
doesn't.
like fan demand. I would say it's a fan demand decision, but then aphmau is known for not doing that except for in one instance ever. So, yeah, I don't think she would cave under pressure. This probably was the original plan. If I was wondering, the instance in question was Garth's reaction to aphmau being pregnant in Minecraft Diaries. She didn't like how she wrote that scene, but that was like how the fans demanded that he react, because they themselves felt entitled to Garmau or Larmau, so Gareth, of course, himself would feel that way. And yeah, since then, I don't think aphmau's ever done that again, but we never know. If there was one scene that felt like it would be fan demanded, it would be this one. I guess only those two really seem to react. Okay, no one else wants to give her a hug. All right.
Nobody else?
Oh, yeah, for crying out, yeah.
We thought you were dead.
Takes more than a few bullets to take me out.
Yeah, they were. You know what?
Oh, she's gonna do the line. No, don't do the line. Don't.
Hold on, no. I would take back half of I would take back half of my complaints about the Melissa death if she just said the bullets weren't silver, so they couldn't kill me, and that was the excuse.
See, that would be a much better. That would be better, yes.
And again, because no one got shot.
I'm sorry.
I should have been there for them.
Your parents wanted to protect both you and Aaron. And now you both need to protect each other.
Aaron
yeah,
and
I guess
Melissa's parents protecting them. That's unusual.
I guess this is
that's
another thing that Adam, might say. Is the fact that Rowan seems to say that both of them are gone, so Rachel must be dead. Therefore, I can sort of see it from that angle, unless she disappeared. But MyStreet parents disappearing out the season, that couldn't happen, obviously.
I'm so sorry.
Shh. It will be fine. Right now, your brother needs you more than ever.
Where is Aaron?
Before you see him, there's a few things I want.
Wait a minute, I just realized she has a gash in the exact same spot that Kawaii-chan has on the side of her hoodie. That probably means it's like a retextured model of that same.
Speak with you all about.
What's gonna happen to Travis?
Yeah, it does give that energy.
Caitlin!
I'll brief you all on what I can.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
As you all know, we, the Guardian Forces, are taking measures to cover up what happened here on Starlight as best we can.
That was obvious with your fancy news report.
Yeah, see, I agree with Agent R here. Yeah, it was obvious. We don't need that being...
It was amateur, but considering the scale of what happened here, I say we made it work. Have any of your memories returned?
Okay, but can we take a moment
All I
to
remember was walking
appreciate
into the resort.
how pretty the purple eyes are? Just might just
That
be
is
me,
true.
but I like
they are. They're a unique feature to Toby, supposedly, and to his family, which also implies he's related to Sasha because she has purple eyes too. But oh well, we
Then
ignore that.
waking up on the floor.
Good. But as far as we're aware, no one of the general public has solid memory or any record of the Celestial Canon. All they recall is the Ultima incident.
You know finding a decoy wolf that big is going to be a pain.
Yeah, which is why they shouldn't have mentioned a corpse on TV. But they wrote themselves into that corner.
I think that's what. Like it would be funny if Toby mentioned, "Oh, we found one on Amazon."
Yeah, it would have been so much easier to just say the Ultima was vaporized in an explosion or something, and that easy, game over.
Yeah,
no one's gonna complain about that. Like,
yeah,
Well, the Ultima
Marvel
was
and DC
crushed
fans
by
might,
a building.
yeah, like the people in the island have seen lasers falling from the sky and monsters fighting. Like, I don't think they're gonna be particularly surprised of,
yeah.
We have our ways. That being said, we've already taken measures to cover our butts and make the Ultima disappear. To the general public.
What do you plan on doing with Aaron?
Melissa!
No!
No, actually, that's a valid question.
It is a valid question, but the reaction is very, very harsh, considering that this is the guy that made sure that she didn't bleed to death, and
Also,
that Aaron is still alive to begin. He could have very easily said, "Oh, we couldn't save him or something," but no, thanks to him, there is actually a thing to do with Aaron in the first place.
Also, you think Toby would have briefed her on this before, bringing her to
That is,
Since he
it's
has-
true. Yeah, Melissa herself would have at least asked a few questions.
Aaron's in our family's
I feel like
safety throughout his
there's
life.
gotta be at least a few protocol violations here, right? Like, I feel like
I mean,
you
this
should have
whole
briefed
in-depth
the
was a protocol
closest
violation.
of kin first, right?
Potentially, yeah.
Life. He and Mom didn't die just to hand him over to you in the end.
If I didn't care about people, you wouldn't be alive right now.
Thank you. Yes.
Got him.
I like Melissa
When I
acting
first
that way
said
in
about
the first place is really strange, but I'm not going to question it.
It is very strange.
Starlight, I had a strong conviction that he was a monster.
I guess we're also, we're much more used to Vacation Melissa now than we are, regular no-nonsense businesswoman Melissa that we got in Season 3.
Me, there was no means of redemption for
that
anyone who bore the...
Liongate Melissa, who was literally an idiot.
They're all idiots in Liongate. There's not one brain cell between everyone.
You're right, all of the OCs have the brain cells. And unfortunately, those disappear after a while.
Yeah, which is really why Dogen should have possibly just written their own series.
To surround himself with. I have no doubt in my mind that my judgment was flawed by the actions of his ancestors. Myself, along with the other judges of the Guardian Forces, have chosen to create a division that works with these otherworldly beings and hunting them down.
That would have been a great spin-off. Oh my goodness, could you imagine that as a spin-off series?
Yes. And also, issue with
like
the writing
Men in Black
here.
style.
Small issue. Yeah, we're instead of just like outright killing everything that we find, we're gonna find new and improved ways of oppressing them. Like, I don't know, maybe like enslaving them and putting them in labs or some shit.
I mean, I prefer the Men in Black option. Mostly because I've now already auto-filled a parody in my head. We are the new GFs, mystical defenders.
Are you serious?
Yes, and this decision would not be made possible if not for the sacrifices made by your friends and...
That's not the right thing to say in this context, even if it is true, Toby. You know, sure, it took your friends and family to die for us, but we got there eventually. I mean, come on. Aren't judges meant to be like? I wonder what a judge means in this context of the Guardian Forces, because I guess that's just like a general rank. So maybe the judge that we saw before on the TV is actually like an equal rank to Toby, and they were supposed to like have like bounce off each other as far as like whose method is going to work and who's going to get approval from the higher ups or something. Who knows? It could be like the sense of like the jury of 9. They weren't like an actual jury really. They were the executioners. So they had no judges.
It's upsetting that it took sacrifice in order to come to this.
We've never encountered supernatural beings who aided humanity before, so you can understand our reservations.
There are monsters.
Wait, I'm sorry, I don't believe that, mate.
I don't
shot. No way. You've been around for like at least a couple decades. There's gotta be at least one creature you found that was like, I don't know, like a tiny mushroom with like little hands that helps children find candy. like come on, man. Like, what are you saying?
Oh no, the traffic lights are off. We're not gonna know when to cross the street to get to school now. Oh, don't worry. I'll cross the street. My light will go like this. My bulb will go red. Beep beep. Okay, follow me.
I still don't believe that there is a creature too that has aided humanity that the Guardian Forces has totally murked before. It is 100% hard to believe that there hasn't been at least one mythical creature that hasn't aided humanity. Because if you look at mythology, there are a lot of creatures that are actually pretty chill with human beings unless you, I don't know, destroy the trees or something.
Yeah, I guess the wyverns come to my mind right now from Minecraft Diaries. But even
oh my
then,
god, did the Guardian Forces murk the wyverns?
I don't.
Yeah, like in the canon of like most mythologies, like
did they hunt the wyverns to extinction for sports? Is Toby the wyvern of the West because he slayed the last one?
No, don't do me like that. No. Why would you do that? No. No. Poor wyverns. Why are you gonna do them like that, man?
When I said murking the wyverns, that was a joke. You didn't need to fill in the blanks, Jacob. You didn't need to fill in the blanks.
Those blanks were rhetorical, man.
All right. On the subject of wyverns, considering that this is a world where wyverns have at least historically existed, we know elves also are a thing, Mifra and werewolves, you know, witches, magic's users of different varieties. What exactly counts to the Guardian Forces as supernatural at this point? What's their criteria here?
Like, I don't know, because it seems very loose. The Guardian Forces don't seem to be that well written.
You think? Maybe? Maybe only a little bit?
Like, the Guardian Forces were, like, great. But if you think about the Guardian Forces too hard, they don't make any sense.
Like at all.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, yes, you bring up a good question. What counts as a supernatural threat?
Avengers level. I don't know.
Not even Avengers level.
The Ultima.
You can argue that the Ultima werewolf wasn't even a problem until they made him a problem.
Yep.
Waits with us. The same for Travis and aphmau.
What?
It makes sense you'd want them.
What do you mean?
There was no time to question it before, but it boggled my mind how or why aphmau was able to wield us as relics, or how Travis even became that monster in the first place.
I mean, they're also both in like a critical condition. They probably shouldn't be moved right now anyway, but that too.
Want this
Who
entire
knows? Travis is
ordeal
gonna
to be
find a way
over,
to
so I
sneak his
want to be.
butt out of bed anyway.
I mean, that is true. Travis is like practically like, you know, immortal, as we have seen on multiple occasions.
Wait, just for my own sake, how many people are aware that aphmau is like a reincarnation of Irene?
As far as we know,
like
nobody.
One maybe. But well, I mean, Holla probably figured it out, and maybe Ghost at a stretch, but at least him. So only one person really.
Okay.
And also, we don't know what happened to Holla. Actually, I think he just went back into the. Well, no, he couldn't have gone back into the canon. They rescued him, so I don't know. I guess he's just off somewhere.
But the only explanation
He gets to retire.
is that aphmau and Travis have some connection to a curse, or something else.
Correct. They need to be studied
Ah, yes. You know, the only explanation is that or something else.
further.
That's not.
What?
Nothing! Pipe down! If he realizes what's going on with us, we'll be studied too!
You realize like I'm right in the room, right?
Like, it would be so like funny.
He can hear you, Kim. What are you doing?
Okay,
Shut up!
I could just imagine, like, Toby walks forward and, like, puts his hand on her shoulder and just drags her out of the room.
Yeah. I need to make a compilation of every time MyStreet characters have the worst hearing imaginable.
Like, even the people with the werewolf ears are, like, deaf.
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, some of the time they do actually deliberately deafen people in order for the werewolf ears to stand out more, but in this instance, no.
How long will they be under the Guardian Force's care?
Months, perhaps. It all depends. Aaron is free to leave Starlight now, but Travis and aphmau will need to remain for further questions.
Right now.
He wasn't in as bad of a condition. Yeah, he's okay.
Do you promise to take care of them?
Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to question that, actually. Now I've said that out loud. Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that after Emerald's Secret, after like one fight sequence, he had to stay put for a year to recover, but it's been a single week, and he's recovered from having his soul torn away?
No, that's not how that works. If
Yeah,
anything, he should
also,
be an
not
observation.
just getting his soul torn away. Like, brother's
His
been
sight and
like
memories too,
shot at, smashed at, bitten, thrown around like a rag doll, and had his soul torn away, and probably had some of his soul like destroyed in like the mayhem that ensued afterwards. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna take a bit more than a year. I don't. Only a little.
Yeah, I would have
maybe.
I would have thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's gonna take a little more than a year. You should, I don't know, keep him in intensive care.
Yeah, definitely.
That would make more sense than allowing the literal Ultima to leave. Didn't you say you needed to study them further? What are you doing?
Yeah, the Lycan family have their own set of doctors that have been dealing with their conditions for years. They would actually be of immense help in this situation.
Then bring them
My
here.
word.
Not
I can take you to Aaron.
I think they already are here, actually. They came to help Aaron through his physiotherapy. So, yeah, some of them are still around. I mean, unless something happened to Daniel's mum.
In which case, bring them into Guardian Forces custody so they can deal with so they can deal with Aaron. Do not send him home. That is a terrible idea.
Bring back Dr. Mum. We want to see Dr. Mum again.
However, I'm only allowed to take one civilian to the facility.
What? Oh, now you decide to follow the rules.
Why?
I'm ready to see him.
All right then. Everyone else, I prepared a private boat for you all to take off the island. I'll have my officers escort you there.
Okay. Stop. Melissa was already there, and she didn't. Oh,
No. Here's what happened. Toby wanted to give them the dramatic reveal, so he just brought Melissa on for the suspense. Not gonna lie, I would have done the same thing for the exact same reason, but that he has a lot more to think about than I would in this situation.
No, you see, what he actually did is he bandaged Melissa's eyes to make sure that she didn't see anything that she was being brought through. And then when they arrived at the door, only then did he take the blindfold off. But that's that.
He just put a bag on her head.
She's had that bag on her head for a couple of months.
Oh god. She has a werewolf nose. That must be torture.
Especially since those paper bags.
And one final thing.
Those paper bags smell like, an inflated kite.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart, I am truly sorry. The pain, suffering, and fear each of you endured, no one should have to go through. The reason I became a member of the Guardian Forces was to prevent anyone from experiencing the pain I once endured.
Okay. So
I don't need your cop backstory, okay, man? I know you only became a Guardian Forces member to beat up monsters, all right? You don't need to come in here be all like, oh, I became a police officer to protect people. No, you didn't. Get out of my house. Go, leave, get fired, quit.
Also, you didn't see them shooting down Melissa and take that as your cue to, I don't know, stop working with the bad guys and help the good guys piece together the final plot?
I mean, he was supposed to be in command, so I think he did take the soldier in question into custody, and then afterwards, eventually escaped because he knew that something was up with everyone.
But even then, it doesn't make much sense because you'd have to be, I don't know, some sort of monster to shoot down a civilian and ask questions later.
I mean, yeah.
He didn't shoot Melissa himself, but he did take part in that operation.
Yeah, although as soon as again, to his credit, as soon as that happened, he actually did he stopped them immediately. I mean, he could have easily continued to chase Aaron and Kawaii-chan if he wanted to, but yeah, he realized that and was like, no, we're not doing that.
For hurting every one of you, I truly am sorry. I don't expect forgiveness in the slightest.
Good, then get out.
Get out. Leave.
I'm sure we all need some time.
Look,
of course.
To be honest,
but remember,
I was saying that's the moment when I take that fancy necklace off and do the
yeah, that's when you take the scarf off and you throw hands, brother. I don't Toby is a good character. I believe him. somewhat,
course.
but I also do not like him. He doesn't seem that well written, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like
I don't
Toby
trust
gives,
that's
oh,
coming out of his
I'm a
stupid
good
little
boy
mouth.
that did bad things because of bad circumstances, but also I'm too stupid to have realized that this whole time I was doing like bad things. Which, you know, man, like go back to 5th grade, okay? Learn some books.
I guess the real question is what are the Guardian Forces missions like under normal circumstances? Because this was obviously an outlier for them. But
Please, Tobias, go touch some grass.
even if his name is actually Tobias.
You all have an ally with me. I won't forget the sacrifices made
Happy
here.
Pride Month, everyone. Toby's an ally confirmed.
Toby.
We have fun, yeah.
I need to warn you. Your brother is not the same person you remember.
You don't even know him.
I don't have to know him to know this isn't normal behavior. You can tell he's in pain.
Then keep him here. What are you doing?
You'll see.
Wow, he looks so good, man. No problems here. Go home, man. You're fine. Those magic bruises. No, that's so good, man. It'll go away in a couple of days. Here, have some ointment.
Yeah, we never actually find out like a cure for void burns at all.
Like, I don't know. Keep him in the Guardian Forces custody. This doesn't look good. Why are you sending him home? This makes no sense. At least there's a clock that has numbers on it, assumably.
I don't see any. I think it just has the handles.
Aaron, hey.
Yes?
But you
It's
see,
me,
it's
Melissa.
a magic clock designed for blind people to be able to see the numbers in their mind. But regular non-blind people see the little handles so they can more or less guess what time it is.
Oh yeah. I think I'm trying to remember who this was. I think this was Gabby Hanna made a poetry book at one point, and in one of those poems there was one that was dedicated to her blind friend, and then on the next page beyond that there was that same poem but written in Braille. You know, without the indentations, obviously.
Oh no.
It was just the dots on the page.
This is a page for my blind friend. And then it's just a page of nothing.
It's like the friend must have been like, "Oh, geez, thank you. Let's see. Oh, well then."
Just a block of text. No.
Not even that. It'd be like touching a blank piece of paper. It's even worse.
Oh, are you here to discharge me?
What?
I don't know. This doesn't seem.
Aaron, this is Melissa.
Que no se
You may
acuerda
not
de
recall her.
Also,
She's your sister.
Also, why didn't Toby tell Melissa that my man has amnesia? Like, I don't. Isn't that like important information?
He
Like,
really loves like the dramatic effect here, doesn't he? This is why he didn't become a doctor. He is not qualified for this part of the job.
He's also not
In fact,
qualified
where
to
are
be
the
able-
doctors? This hospital is empty. Did they all get discharged before the patients did?
A sister?
Wait. He actually doesn't.
Oh, so she was
From what we
told
can
that-
tell, Aaron has major memory loss.
You
He doesn't
didn't-
seem to recall
I
certain friends
couldn't
or...
have told her that before her coming in the room. Like that.
Like, you had to give her. Like, no offense, Tobias, But you need to stop listening to audio dramas and go back to class.
This man has a soap opera addiction.
Tobias has a soap opera addiction.
Yeah.
And family, which means...
Our parents?
I'm sorry.
Have you actually found...
Hey, Aaron. So you had parents, but they're dead now.
Aaron's like, well, yeah, I obviously have parents. How do you think I got here? I remember where babies come from. Wait, do I? I do. Yeah, I do.
Huh?
He is blind.
My name is Melissa.
Grab his hand. That's
Yeah.
gonna set off his fight response, and you're gonna be punched in the face.
Man, like I've been through the trauma cycle. That's like not the right way of doing that. Like if someone did that to me, I would have thrown hands. Like what? Why? Don't touch him. Like
Yeah. I mean, bear in mind, but I will say this for the chat. Adri is a trained martial artist, so he literally just like
no, that would have been
somebody.
bad. I would have actually thrown someone. Like that's not. I don't care who you are. Okay.
Like if I was in this, I've been in a similar situation. Not the exact one because this one has magic added to it. But I would have, straight up punched Melissa in the face out of shock.
Yeah.
And I have pretty small, bony fists.
That would hurt.
Aaron, please. Remember when we were little and Mom and Dad used to take us skiing at the
He
lodge?
doesn't remember anything. Why are you saying that, Melissa?
Remember when we were a little person with amnesia?
Remember when you're a little
all the
person who
times we
seconds
had
ago
as
just
children?
established they don't remember me and therefore what we've been through?
For the time when Dad got angry at us for trying chocolate after he told us not to and we barfed in his briefcase.
Derek does
That sounds terrible.
It was. But we laughed about it later. It was so stupid, but we bring it up every time we wanted to make Dad angry.
A lot of things make you
No,
angry.
you didn't. No, you did not bring it up every time I wanted to make Derek angry. Derek was angry all the time anyway, and that never came up.
You really don't remember me, do you?
Did you just notice this information?
I'm sorry, but I don't.
Like he told you.
The doctors here keep asking me questions, but...
You just don't realize that he doesn't remember?
Also, at least
And
Aaron
also,
confirmed that there are doctors
Melissa,
here.
Also, Melissa, wait to deal with someone who's just been like mega traumatized and made blind. Bring up everything that he doesn't remember to make him more sad. Like, what's wrong with you? Go take a sensitivity class. What are you doing?
Well, I think Melissa needs more than a sensitivity class, and I think she just go back to school.
I just can't remember anything.
A word?
Also,
Be right back.
Why isn't Aaron in psychiatric watch? Like, what is this? Why is he alone?
Because there are no psychiatrists to watch him. They're all empty.
Like, there are no doctors in this hospital. We didn't see a single person in this
Well,
wing.
Aaron did just say the doctors keep asking him questions, so maybe they're just all keeping a respectful distance. Every single one, as is customary in cases of trauma.
Yeah.
Okay. I've
never been to a psychiatric hospital before, but even I know not to do that.
Yeah, that is not how you do that, man.
Like-
That's...
I've actually been in psychiatric care once. And normally, when you're in a psychiatric care facility, they take away anything from you that you can use to hurt yourself. There's a lot of things in this room that you can use to hurt yourself. For example, that potted plant.
Yes, why is there a potted plant and a thing that has what I am expecting to be a really sharp needle attached to it? Why?
I was about to
And
say this might be mean spirited, but he might not know those things are there. Apart from the plant, actually, he can probably smell the plants.
Yeah, but even then, even if he's blind, they would have put him in like a room that is safety padded for his care.
Yeah, like one of those soft ones. Like what is this?
Like, they don't have him in psychiatric care. They have him in a normal hospital room with a wall clock. Like, what if he bangs his face on the wall and that clock falls on his head?
Does psychiatry not exist in this world? Do people not realize in this world that if you've been through a traumatic event, you might like want to hurt yourself? Like, why are you? Why is he alone? Like, I don't understand.
Like, why is he alone? Why are they sending him home? If anything, that should be more excuse to, I don't know, give him more care.
Yeah,
I think letting him go home with his sister right now is a terrible idea.
Yeah. Maybe even a worse idea than letting Toby become a cop of all things. Jeez.
Oh no. And Jacob's PC just crashed. Which means we're going to need to see you for a while.
No. Okay, so hello, Jacob's audience. I am the new Jacob, actually.
New Jacob, the new cooler Jacob.
I'm the new, cooler, more Hispanic Jacob. Allow me to make really inappropriate jokes and say a lot of slurs.
Wait, you want to say a slur? I'm really good at that.
Let's do a slur contest and demonetize the channel.
Let's demonetize the entire channel. Yeah, let's not do that. Like if anything, Jacob is watching the stream on his phone, so we don't do anything weird. Wait, no, he can't. We're not live. Woo! But I was gonna say, yeah, this is the opposite of the care that Aaron should be getting.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, letting family members see him right now was probably
It's
not
a
the
bad
best
idea.
decision.
Yeah, like he needs to be in the care of psychiatrists and regular doctors. No one else. Also, why is there like a presumably armed guard being allowed into a room with a patient who is supposed to be in psychiatric care? Like, why are you? What? Do you want him to have a crisis? Is this?
It's like this entire thing is set up for failure, and I don't know why.
1 week is all it takes for recovery.
No, it doesn't. It takes 7 weeks for recovery. Like, if anything, I would have kept Aaron for a month, at least. A month.
Like,
yeah.
Like, man, like it took me years to recover. Like, I was never in psychiatric care, but man, like, it took years. Like, what? Why are you? Why is he alone? Help me, please. Help me understand. I want to know. I want to talk to aphmau. Aphmau, what are you doing?
This is the episode that we want to talk to aphmau about. Oh my.
Listen, there are lots of things I want to talk to aphmau about, but this one is very high on that list right now.
Very true.
He's really blind.
Yes, I wasn't sure if you'd believe me until you saw it for yourself.
Characters can't hear you while you're in the room speaking loudly. Episode
By the way,
3043.
Yeah, normally I would complain about the fact that Toby said like he wasn't sure that she would believe him, but in the case of Melissa, I can understand that. I also would think Melissa wouldn't believe the person because she seems to just not want to half the time.
Aaron's blindness seems to be permanent. However, from testing, it seems like he can make out slight movements, but nothing else, and even that is scarce. We're not fully aware of what this means for...
He's become Daredevil, he has sonar. That's what he got. That's what he's got. He's Daredevil now.
Why is the person giving the patient's close of kin medical information an armed guard and not a doctor? Does HIPAA not exist in this universe? I'm sorry, do the neighbors know about his condition? Like, what's going on, man? Like, what? Are you running the tests, Mr. Toby? Because I wouldn't trust you to run a test.
Are you running the hospital, Tobias? If so, hand this location off to an actual doctor, please.
I'm half expecting Lablasa to show up here just to give the that whole deal. That is a Spanish pop culture reference. It would probably take too long to explain. I'm sorry.
A cursed rat, so we'd like to make sure we examine him once a month.
What about his memory?
What do you mean examine
In terms of his
memory? What do you mean? Okay.
Yeah,
run it back. No, I was gonna ask, they were going to monitor him once a month. Shouldn't he, stay in your care for like a month?
I think maybe the doctors are going to monitor him, but the Guardian forces are going to come back and check the results, as is customary for them to do. I don't know anymore.
Why are the Guardian forces allowed in a psychiatric hospital?
This isn't this is a Guardian Forces hospital, but I think that Aaron should be getting more care.
I like how the Guardian forces have their own hospital.
Yeah, that's not
All minor
On
details.
Starlight.
He remembers details such as colors, shapes, and trivial things, but not anything that made him who he is.
Again,
at least from what
why
we can.
do you know this information? You're a soldier.
Yeah, and
what are you doing?
how do you verify that he remembers colors? You just say like, hey, do you remember the color blue? And you just take his word for it.
Yeah, like, oh, you're a blind person. Do you see this color? What color am I holding?
It's more of a
up?
case of remembering colors that he's seen historically, but obviously you can't describe them all. Like say, hey, point to the color that is blue on this piece of paper. It's like, guys, come on.
Some of the doctors think it's possible familiar things might possibly jog his memory, but it's unlikely.
Some of the doctors think it's possible familiar things might possibly recover him, with a possibility that it's possible.
This isn't fair. My brother suffered alone for so long in his life.
Yeah, we got
now
that.
He's really alone.
No,
Wait.
he can hear everything as well. He's not
Where
alone.
is she?
Huh?
If anyone can make...
That is true, actually. As far as it's very rare for us to go an episode like this long. aphmau appearing. We're 20 minutes into a 39-minute video, halfway through, and aphmau's not shown up yet, which is a lot of restraint.
It's her. Please take us to her.
I don't think that they should see each other like this.
Too bad. Not your
Please,
fault.
just take us to her.
Yeah, that is literally not his call.
Why are you the one determining this? You're not a doctor.
All right.
You're not a doctor, and you're not a professional, Tobias. Get out of here.
I like how we're just gone in disappointing parent mode here, just mentioning just calling by his full name, even though we don't know if his full name is Tobias.
No, I know it is. Okay, I raised him. I am very disappointed. I'm sorry. Why is another psychiatric patient being allowed on a balcony unsupervised? Why? No.
Because he can't get up, so of course he wouldn't fall. Even if he did fall, this is Travis we're talking about. He has fallen from far higher buildings and had almost zero impact on his health, so he's fine.
Yes, but the demon is no longer inside him, so he's probably not.
Gotta be honest.
Anymore.
For a moment in time, I didn't expect to see another sunset. No matter how much I fought,
currently?
I just couldn't take control back.
He's talking to the audience, isn't it?
Was that how you felt too, Dad?
Ah, there we go.
You know, when I was in that darkness, I felt memories I had forgotten come back. Things you tried so hard to make me forget.
Interesting his eyes are still green, by the way, because there's how the whole thing in the mini games at one point about how his eyes were actually naturally gray when outside like the the whole vessel preparation thing, and he didn't seem to remember at all that is it like he like revised his own memory, so it's like I'm a natural gray. I don't know what you're talking about. I know the mini games aren't canon, but it seems like that was the general idea they were going for.
Actually, no, we've seen his natural eye color in the roleplays before.
Yeah, exactly.
So
why is he back to?
Why is he back to green eyes? Because the green eyes are iconic, and we can't get rid of them.
Is Michael like Bill Cipher, that some part of him might have still survived and returned someday? Like, is that what we're going for?
I remember, Dad.
I know for a fact aphmau's seen Gravity Falls, so now I'm questioning that, actually.
How you were always so warm and loving towards me. I remember how much you talked about Mom and...
Wait, had he forgotten that before? Because he seemed to have a very, very high opinion of his dad when in Season 5. I don't think he would have forgotten that, so it's not like memories that would have come back to him, and that's the example he's giving. What
did for me?
Like, if anything, there was a passive effect where everyone around him forgot that he existed, not Travis.
Exactly! Thank you! I'm not crazy.
So if anything, other people's memories of Travis should be returning. Not, Travis's memories of other things.
Oh my goodness, that would have been the perfect explanation for this. That would have been the perfect explanation. My first aphmau theory would have been finally addressed.
It's like
that would have been amazing.
Travis's old friend from high school just gives him a call and is like, "Hey, was I in psych class with you?"
Psych class?
I said psych class.
Oh, okay, all right.
In psychology.
Right, yeah.
For a while, I felt like a spoiled child. I didn't understand the reason you were spoiling me. It's because from time to time he would turn into a different person.
Well, it was probably also because he knew that Travis himself would turn to that person eventually, because obviously he wasn't expecting Michael to be defeated, so he just kind of thought, oh, okay, I'm my son is going to be the new vessel someday, and therefore, he needs to have the best life possible before that happens.
Literally, I guess. Though back then, I didn't know that.
Did he see Michael ever?
Those of us
was not clear.
Who underwent the experiments, our memories were erased, or at least some parts of them.
You were also really extremely young. I'm pretty sure. Like this. Bear in mind, in Phoenix Drop High, we learned that aphmau was friends with all the Ramave brothers as really, really young children, pre-childhood amnesia kicking in, young. So probably within their very first years of existence. So they must have been in these experiments for when he says he remembers stuff that's come back to him, he remembers everything now. It's like, I remember the moment I opened my eyes for the first time. And the doctor kickstarted my lungs. And you were so happy there, weren't you, Father?
You were so happy there, weren't you, Father?
This episode of Bad Writing and Minecraft Roleplays is brought to you by an ice-cold Pepsi. Buy one today.
It's brought to you by my mug of milk that I have not yet Levi drunk from yet. So we're not in good hands.
If anything, other people's memories of Travis should be coming back, not the other way around.
Yeah, that would have been a callback. Yeah.
Because people, after Travis leaves the area, just forget Travis exists until he reappears again.
Yep.
Yeah, he's magic like that, man.
This
the power.
Yeah, this is my first ever aphmau theory, and yes, I know that I made the claim at the time that it was Gene who was responsible for it, but I wouldn't be against another explanation for it as long as it makes sense. The reason that I hate the Emmeline one is because I actively debunked that theory, and then it became confirmed, even though it still is ridiculous.
I I wasn't lucky, was I? Michael was trying to make me into the perfect vessel to host him. That lasted for years.
We saw that from the vessel kids.
You always tried to keep him from me, Dad.
Well, he didn't do a very good
Desperately
job.
trying to protect me.
Yeah, because actually,
plus L.
Michael actually only started possessing Travis in season 5 when Terry had been introduced as a character. So Terry brought Travis along to Starlight, the island that Michael owns, and that's when he started being able to possess Travis.
Yeah, bad parenting.
This makes no sense.
My goodness. And Terry is the #1 ranked parent of MyStreet, according to me and several other people. But you know, even he has his moments. What is it with MyStreet that is showing like the worst parents for some reason?
To let me live a normal life. Like I tried to protect her. In those last moments.
Also, this might just be my opinion, but I think that's bad parenting, man. Like, if you know, right, that you're like possessed by a demon or something, and that your child is going to be made into the next vessel for that entity, like, man, you gotta at least tell the kid at some point something, right? You can't just be all like, oh, everything's normal, everything's fine, we're like a normal family or whatever. Like, you gotta like.
No, it's fine. I'm not possessed by a demon. I just get drunk sometimes.
Like what? Like
I get drunk and I come back home looking like a different old man.
You always did. No one else should have to suffer through what you did.
And presumably they never will, unless, again, the whole eyes thing.
Else out there suffers through the same fate. I'll stop.
If anything, you're still going to suffer from that. If Terry's,
Hold on. What did he? Let's just analyze what he said. If anyone suffers from the same fate, I'll stop them. What are you implying here, Travis?
What are you going to like? Is Travis going to start sucking demons into him again?
Maybe.
I mean, he might become like
I was
the
thinking
most
more,
OP
he would find
soul
other ways
possessor
to.
in the world. Like, can you imagine he just starts absorbing demon after demon after demon and becomes like a god? Like, fucking starts battling Irene for divine supremacy. Like.
Season 2 of Dante and Travis the show is just Dante and all of Travis's different personalities from the demons.
And that
is
the
it.
conclusion of the worst psychiatric hospital in human history. Like,
Oh, no, it isn't. We're still going.
Oh, God, why?
Yep. We got one more patient to get through here.
Wow, we have three patients unsupervised. That's awesome. Thank you, man.
One
of
these
surrounded by sharp
unconscious.
objects.
I mean, she might just be asleep, but she could very well be unconscious on her bed. You need someone there occasionally.
Like,
She
even
might
then,
start seizing or something. You don't know. You don't know what her state is. She might start having seizures. She might throw up and be unable to move because she's paralyzed or something. What are you doing?
Yeah, is she like hooked up to an EEG at all? I feel like Dr. Mike mentioned that, but like, doesn't
she's
seem
not
like
hooked up to anything right now.
she's hooked on a feeling. She's high on believing.
For now, accept things as they
Sorry,
are.
I didn't mean to do that while you were taking a drink.
Oh, it's okay. Baby made me laugh like burger before. It's good.
I'll leave you three to your privacy, but be aware, the boat will depart very soon.
What do you mean?
You mean the boat that is exclusively waiting for them? Excuse you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is talking is Toby like in charge of everything now? Like my guy, he's like the top general. He's also the top psychiatric and physical doctor,
and a judge apparently.
He's in charge of tourism. And there's also a judge. My guy's like Da Vinci times 800. Like my guy's like a god. Like
I guess in the absence of Michael, he becomes like the de facto authority at Starlight, because I guess Michael didn't have a second in command for Starlight management.
I guess Tobias is now the manager of Starlight too.
For some reason, everything.
Or maybe it's Travis. Maybe like it passes down to the next generation. So it's just Travis now that owns the island.
If it's Travis who owns the island, that would actually be pretty, fun and cool. But if it's Tobias, I'm going to be scared for the future of Starlight.
Yeah.
I have the same plotted plan.
aphmau?
They had several. They commissioned several for the hospital. They're from the same
aphmau.
Melissa, you're alive?
Yes, I am.
Welcome to round 2 of Melissa putting an unnecessary amount of stress on traumatized people. Awesome. Great. Where are the doctors in this hospital?
Yeah, she's doing all right so far, but we're gonna see how she ruins it in a second.
Yeah. Oh god, not again. No, don't do this. No, why? What are you doing? Why? Why are you introducing him to a stranger? What, do you want him to, like, accidentally kill aphmau? Like, what?
Okay, I don't think go that far necessarily, but yeah, he has all the reason in the world to at the very least recoil and freak out right now.
Yeah, of
I'm
course he
in
does.
Mutant Girl to make sure that no one actually touched Agatha unless she was like expecting it, and sometimes she would like put her arms out like this and like do like a motion or something, so people would like either like hug her or take her somewhere or whatever. So she was already.
Aaron? This is aphmau. Do you remember her?
I'm sorry.
Well, given that he can't see her and all that he can feel is the texture of her hand, not her face. I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna know who that is. Like, even if you remembered, like what?
Like I would say he might remember the feeling of aphmau's hand, but then again, aphmau particularly was always like super nervous, to do like anything like remotely intimate with Aaron. So potentially, like if they ever held hands, she might have been like way tenser than normal, or she might have like had to like recoil and blush or something.
Right.
We don't really know.
I feel like you would have to feel the shape of her face, which is usually what blind people do to recognize people. Like, I don't know, why are you?
Yeah.
Where are the doctors in this hospital?
I would also say, voices in this context, but again, he doesn't remember, so that wouldn't help.
Exactly.
Like, but even then, it's like.
Stop doing that!
Remember!
Unnecessary amount of stress on the psychiatric patient, please. He's gonna have a heart attack or something.
Think about how I feel, me, Melissa. You've got to remember, for my sake. Otherwise, I freak out. Unlike you, obviously.
Like, if anything, I think Aaron deserves to stay in care for a little longer. I don't know, bro. I think
he can
Aaron
be around
deserves...
aphmau a bit more than if he does stay here. That's also true.
Yeah, like he needs to be taken care of. Like what? Like man.
Remember something.
It's all right.
Forgive me.
She already knows because she was
sure
there.
You're a nice person.
Oh, where is he going?
Wait!
Does he know the way to the door?
He's just run into a wall. Like, my man just walking away with...
Melissa's not even going to stop him from walking off either.
I guess she's going to focus on aphmau, yeah.
Like if he had like one of those like blind people canes, right? Like to be able to see where
he has like
going or whatever.
No, he has Daredevil sonar.
He just like
remember he can make out movements, so he has Daredevil sonar.
Yes, but the walls don't move. Like he's just gonna walk into a wall. Great.
Like if anything, he's going to slam his face into a door.
Yeah, potentially. Oh my goodness.
And Melissa's not even going to like assist him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melissa's like, it's fine. He has sonar. Whatever.
Yeah. So again, one of the things that Agatha tends to do, because she doesn't use like have a cane either. She doesn't like to do that. She likes to, try to appear as normal in quotes as possible. So what she'll do is a lot of the time, well, either she'll be in like a crowded area, people are going to stop her from doing something that she's going to end up regretting, or she's with friends, they're able to guide her, or potentially she will ask, how many steps to this one particular thing, or alternatively, she just memorizes a particular area, and so she knows the terrain that she's going to be in, like like her own house, for example. Most of the time, apart from Felix's lab where she was under like distress, and so she just kind of like she was on a rampage anyway, so it didn't really matter where she was to her. So yeah, a lot of those things to consider when you're talking about just like when you're like writing and editing blind people doing things. This is tough because you can do it with their feet, but
aphmau,
exceptions.
I'm so sorry.
That's the second time
I wanted to believe what happened to him was a dream. That when I woke up, he would be back to normal. Not for my sake, but because...
Wow. Good job, Melissa. Great job of putting more stress on aphmau and Aaron. Now aphmau feels like shit. Good job, Melissa. Amazing. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, aphmau probably already came to terms the same way because she must have noticed that she was like heavily injured, and therefore what happened must not have been a dream.
She didn't know how bad it was. Like, what?
Well,
why?
Yeah.
Melissa, sorry, but Melissa's writing here is not good. Like, normally she's the smart one, right?
A lot of the time, yes.
Supposed to have the brain. Like, what? Is her brain on vacation now? Like, I don't...
Yeah, this is well, Vacation Melissa was still usually fine. She was like Vacation Tenzin. She's recognizable, but I don't know. And there's the third Avatar reference.
Like, I would say that, she's still traumatized, and that's why she's, dragging all of these traumatized people who have went through horrible events over the last couple of days back through their trauma. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, but even if Melissa herself is traumatized and is trying to grasp onto things, then why is she the only one here? Why isn't she accompanied by one of the others so that she doesn't do something stupid like what she just did?
Or, for instance, why isn't she being seen by a doctor herself for psychiatric care?
She was already under like physical care at the very least before the
physical care, not mental care.
Yeah, they clearly they are stretched thin in the Guardian forces.
Yeah, wow, there are so many doctors in this hospital, so desperately trying to get the job done. Where are the doctors?
Where are they?
They were all they're all dead. They were also Guardian forces soldiers, and Michael just moved them all away from the hospital because he didn't care.
Remember what he forgot, but he can't recall what it is. I thought maybe if I brought him to see you, maybe...
No. What's affected him isn't something love can heal.
We'll see about that, but
Melissa, leave aphmau to rest.
Interestingly, that was like the premise of healing magics and how Lucinda taught aphmau to use healing magics was through
Literally,
love,
that love
actually.
can heal.
Yeah. So the fact that she's saying that right now, not that she would know really, because she's only like done healing magics like twice. So honestly, I thought when I watched this for the first time that during season 7 we were going to get like some attempts, albeit failed ones, until her wish we catch up with that timeline continuity. Of aphmau trying to heal Aaron physically, like the void burns and the eyes particularly. The memories is like that's a whole different matter. I don't know how you would heal someone's brain in that context, but whatever. There's so many
Give
things
this
you
to
can do
him.
with that idea of recovery.
If he remembers me or not. No matter who he smiles with. I just want him to be happy.
I will also say that Aiden is usually says like he doesn't want a full recovery from a lot of these characters, and I can see why. Like in a hypothetical continuation, he likes the idea that what they went through has consequences. I say to that, the mental scarring is never going to go away, so that's already something. And 2, like the road of like physical recovery at least, or trying to or trauma bonding they would have to go through, and whatever healing they can actually take from that would be a good journey in of itself with a satisfying reward, because obviously people who've been watching MyStreet for years wanted a happy ending for these characters, and I'm fairly certain that aphmau would want the exact same thing, despite how this particular season ended. Like, the reason we didn't get any more is because he says, "Oh, how am I going to top this?" But that's more of a technical level, not a writing one, I think.
Please, help him be happy.
Even on a writing
After
level, this
everything
really
he's
wasn't
been
very
through.
good.
That's all I want
And
for
also
him.
the whole how am I gonna top this thing? Not to be too harsh or anything, but that's a wrong approach to storytelling. That's not,
Yeah, I
you
have.
don't
I
like
have also
write
said,
a story and then just like stop writing it because they're like, oh, I don't know how to continue. No, you just gotta, you gotta keep going, take it to the end, and like workshop it or whatever. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there are very few examples where that kind of thing works. Dragon Ball is an example of when that works to an extent, because suddenly it's like, oh yes, you're the strongest on Earth, but guess what? You're an alien. Now you're the fulfilling an ancient alien prophecy, but there's more levels to it as well, and there's like stuff in space, and there's like, and there's an amalgamation of everyone now, and oh look, this ancient genie that was on Earth this whole time is going to destroy everything in the universe. That kind of thing. It was like it kept on getting up and up and up. Also, there are more universes now. Anyway, you get the idea. But most of the time, that doesn't usually work. And as I've said before, when it comes to if you have to toss between visuals and storytelling, always go with the writing, the storytelling.
Yes.
Because that's what people already watching MyStreet before the animations and stuff. It's not like we'll care necessarily if it like goes back to that step. And even then, like aphmau's casual videos now are more competent on a technical level than some of the early MyStreet episodes were. So that's already an upgrade.
Yeah.
I got this. There you go.
Why
What, just like nods? Okay, that's cruel. Just like just like stays there, like nods at the person in a wheelchair, and then goes up the stairs. Someone. Oh, okay. I guess he can walk. Okay, fine.
Also, I guess no one told Aaron that there were stairs. He just guessed that there were stairs. He imagined, oh, the stairs are going to be in this exact location, and there's this exact number of stairs, and
Like,
then the
I
boat
think-
is right there.
Maybe
Like,
he pulled an actor and asked about it.
Maybe.
Well, we don't know, but in any case, also this boat, given how small it is, can't have that many other passengers on it, so my point still stands that this boat did not have to leave at its designated time if it's only for these 2 passengers.
Anyway, one of these passengers is blind. Why would you have a boat that he can easily... Never mind.
Aaron?
If I ask more questions, the more distressed I'm going to get.
Yes, and also, Aaron's family are like multi-bajillionaires. Like, if they need a bigger boat, they can get a bigger boat to come to the island and wait for them. Like, well,
Oh yeah, Melissa especially has contacts.
Melissa can make a phone
How am I
call.
gonna
Like,
tell
it's
her?
not that difficult. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'll put a pin on Melissa making a phone call for a second because I have a bit coming up later.
Tell who?
I won't be able to talk to her anymore.
What are you talking about?
Shu.
Shu?
She was a great friend of mine. But I don't know how I can speak to her again. Or even see her online.
I like how he remembers Shu, but not like over his family, despite the fact that like he was like this. So I guess the memory does not go in order. So it's like one piece that's gonna reveal
been
more
so
of the
long.
middle piece.
You've never told me about this friend.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I should have.
Aaron?
Probably not.
Whoever she is. If that's what you want to do, I'll see what I can arrange.
Okay, and now a dramatic reenactment of what Melissa should have done in this next scene. Beep boop 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 beep boop beep boop. Oh, hey, yeah. Yeah, doctors that definitely exist. Yeah, can you put aphmau on the phone, please? Yep. Oh, she's awake. Good. Okay. Hey, aphmau, it's Melissa. Yeah. So Aaron just mentioned something that he remembers, like an online friend called Shu. Did he ever mention that to you? Oh, he did. Oh, it's you! Oh, hey, cool. We're still on the boat. We can turn right back round and you can talk about that. That would... Wow. What a great idea this was. Okay, all right. See you in a second. Bye. Beep. There you go. The end. Season 7 averted. Why didn't she do that?
She could have just done that.
But also, I do like the SS Scaleswind. If you wouldn't remember, Scaleswind is one of the villages or one of the cities that was.
Oh yes, I remember.
Yeah, that was the one that Nicole was lord of, actually. Oh wait, yeah, here we go. Full outro. Yay.
Also, the sea in the distance has not rendered yet.
Well, that's
I noticed that too, but
They didn't turn the render distance up far enough.
There was something about you, cause you got stuck in my mind. Stuck in my mind, stuck in my mind. I thought I'd give it a go and I started talking to you. I don't know what I said, but the next thing I knew is that I held you in my arms and you asked what we should do. What should we do? What should we do? I said you can do what you want to with me. Yeah, I won't mind. As long as you stay with me, I'm alright. I wanna hold ya. I wanna hold ya.
Okay, I could. On off? Oh, I thought it was James Brown Jr. for some reason. I've been saying that for years. Dang it. What is the credit? Exactly. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go.
And we started walking the streets, and then we stopped for a while, and you said you wanna kiss me. I remember thinking, is this really happening?
Ultimately, I never thought I'd show too much. We only hear like a few episodes that's gone completely.
Just kissing under street lights on our way back home.
I always.
Our way back home. Our way back home.
And not everyone got all the credits. Oh, James Brown was the replacement for Daniel, who was credited for and really did. It must have got past now to get like boots on the bullet. Well, I shot this not Oh, they left their medical supplies there. No one cleaned up the island. No, wait, they didn't use medical supplies. Now we can watch the 3D animations. Well, 2 of them, I think.
Mama's boy!
Also,
what do I remember? Oh, that's right, because we lost a bunch of animators and yet we only have one left over. You know, everyone
in a crash!
Yeah, in a crash. Very glad. Wait a minute, graphic artist MyStreet. That makes so much sense now. That's why her shirt was called the MyStreet. Clearly that was the intention, obviously. Oh yeah. Right. First one is aiming full-time captain number. That was like. Met you in the dark, 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 met you in the dark. I didn't see that anywhere. Oh, Wilton and Castor get all excellent people, like special friends. And Max, I know he was excellent before. So they got one special flag. Boss got booted off on the first billing. I'm sorry, but justice for Boss here. And Ross. That's Irene. Alright. And then just a spin stop finale, get the cliffhanger.
We get a cliffhanger as a treat.
Yeah. Now officially taking 5 years to pay off.
Oh my god, it's Dark Mother.
You know, you picked a really crappy time to develop a backbone.
Damn! Oh, I forgot to tell you, she's my second queen after Lucinda.
Elizabeth? Of all people?
Yes.
Listen, we
Yes,
both know
of
that Mom's in
course.
the house.
Okay.
I love Elizabeth.
She is the Dark Mother. I'm
She
sorry.
is! I'm telling you, man.
It is more like the Dark Mother that I think of.
Elizabeth? Where the hell are we?
Drinking.
That's not a very polite way to address the person that just saved you. Please, if you really want to die on that cannon, then I can just send you right back.
Wait, how did you...
Actually, yeah, that's a very good question because it has been a week apparently, and also the can has been at the bottom of the ocean. So not only has she done actually teleported him back, but she also cast animates dead, I guess.
Well,
there's a lot that you've.
He could have been trapped in an air pocket or something.
An air pocket that lasted for a week underwater.
Look, man, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to make it make sense, okay?
That's normally what I do on Gacha Review. People give me flack for it.
Since we split up.
Ah! Yeah. Like I said, MyStreet parents disappearing at the end of a season, that couldn't possibly happen. By the way, I love how neither like Gareth nor Zane nor Ziana questioned where Garte was this whole time.
That's just his face.
He just disappeared.
You didn't.
That's right. Garte Romave has resting dead face. That's confirmed now.
He's fine.
RDF.
His little family doesn't even know he's missing. They don't even remember
They should
at all anymore.
Also, they don't remember. They don't remember that they have a father. What?
Well, why do you
How
mean?
did you do that?
Okay, like even then.
Hey, Mom,
What?
why is your last name Romave?
Yeah,
Well, because...
Yeah, like Lucinda's been able to do some wild magic, but nothing that strong. Like what? Like just like deleting someone
I
like
was
that.
I was about to say, even then, spells are not forever. Like the forever potions were special because magic was not forever.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like the Travis memory spell, whenever Garte next shows up around them is when they will start to remember him bit by bit, and they will just assume they knew him the whole time, much like what happened with Travis.
That doesn't make any sense either.
Make sense.
Well, it might not make complete sense, but it got me 20,000 views, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Like, it got you 20,000 views, but we've had no mention of a spell like that existing. We could have just assumed that was a passive effect of, whatever magic was affecting Travis. But
look, you know who else requires an explanation for this? Yoshi. To explain. Explain to him why this doesn't make any sense. He's looking at you, aphmau. He needs an explanation. If not, he will eat your children.
I think I have an explanation. I have an explanation, but not a very good one. We needed Gate to disappear unnoticed. But instead of this character capitalizing on the chaos to just swipe Gate when nobody was looking and be like, ooh, he went missing in the chaos and he's gone, not dead though. She was just like, ooh, I'm gonna dissipate everybody's memories, apparently, when they're not looking.
Yeah, but by the since we compared this to Avengers Endgame, I'm going to compare this to another Marvel movie, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Because there is a warp zone video that goes into like the last scene where it's like, oh yeah, make everyone forget who Peter Parker is, and then they just go into like a whole skit where it's like like J. Jonah Jameson reporting against like breaking news that Spider-Man's been confirmed to be a high schooler by the name of Peter Parker. It's been confirmed by literally thousands of archived camera footage, and as well as the collective transcriptions of hundreds of people. The most bizarre thing is that everyone seems to have already known it. But somehow, they forgot. Whoever this Spider-Man is, he is very, very bad at coming up with plans. I mean, he didn't think this through, like, at all. He also come for something with me. Hey, it's me, Peter Parker. Idiot. I'm paraphrasing that, but it's, yeah. I had to show you two that sketch. After we finish this recording, I'm going to show you that sketch because it's like, wow. Yeah, they did not think about that one at all. It's like, you've already shown like the movie opens with news coverage of this event.
Yeah, like it's true that Marvel movies have a tendency to fall apart really quickly upon a closer examination.
Why is this aphmau special doing the same thing?
Yeah, well, now we know where she got her inspiration.
Yeah, a lot of MyStreet falls under examination.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be the best, like, hypothetically, the best written MyStreet season.
Also,
people say that. They said about an Emerald Secret too. Emerald Secret was mostly not that good. It was only the last 5 episodes that where it picked up, at least for me.
Yeah. Also, is this man questioning Dark Mother right now? Like, what are you doing? You don't question Dark Mother. You
Like,
do what she says, and that's it.
If
Shut up.
anything, this is the one time that Dog Mother needs to be questioned because we have no answers for how her spell works right now.
This is the only time Dark Mother's been relevant. She's been overshadowed by Michael this whole time, and mostly been passing by the effect of her leaving left on Caitlin, and maybe bits from Eric, and that's it. This is like her first major contribution to the story, and we're immediately breaking it apart.
Also, if anything, I would say maybe permanent memory loss because of forever potions, but forever potions are literally not a thing anymore. The emeralds used to create forever potions have been mined dry.
Well, from that one source, I don't remember them saying they needed to be those emeralds specifically, just that they need to be emeralds. That's my understanding.
Yes, those emeralds specifically. The emerald needs to hold magic of some sort in order to work.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember a scene of of Ian telling the telling the wolves that that some of the emeralds they got were not good enough. I don't know if that's specific, geode, I suppose, but or whatever.
I'm guessing it's something that has to do with the emerald's purity.
Probably.
In order to make a good potion.
Yeah, that's usually
Yeah, if you think about it from a scientific point, then yes, obviously, just that's why diamonds have got to go through a ridiculous process as well in order to be used.
Yeah.
Or, I guess, mass sold or whatever they are.
Don't worry about it. He and I have a...
What do you mean, don't worry about it? We kind of need answers.
Yeah. This feels like Mary Poppins. I want to make something very clear. I never explain anything.
Yeah, and also, he's one of the only people working for you. So why are you not I don't know, at least keeping him interested by answering some of his questions?
Yeah, being kept in the dark is what led him to rebel against Michael in the first place. She's not very good at pattern recognition either.
He has a lot of sins to pay me back for. Michael, that idiot. He was supposed to use the machine to get one relic, just the Ultima. Not thousands of normal people. Even he can play his cards wrong. And now, you have a...
That's a fair question. What did happen to the Ultima relic when Michael was vaporized? That's a fair question. Maybe it's still inside Travis. Maybe that's why his eyes are green. Because the relic is still inside of Travis himself. He just doesn't know it yet.
broken Ultima, along with the celestial cannon at the bottom of the ocean.
Wait, if the one is inside Travis, that makes him the Ultima, right? Low-key, right?
I mean, I guess it might make him have access to the Ultima powers in a sense, but not really the Ultima himself.
That's only slightly concerning.
I have a super raw idea. Travis somehow handing off the relic that was Aaron's dad to Aaron, restoring his eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
like
have a raw idea as well. The way that would be like an end season thing where they're finally able to do that somehow. Mid-season point, Travis discovers that in some sort of blind transformation, which accidentally affects Caitlin, who survives like Gareth did because she's on the same potion as he was, but because Caitlin has the whole thing of being really iffy around werewolves, suddenly has to deal for half a season with being one before they can reverse it, before Travis can call upon those powers again, or they can be transferred back to Aaron at the end of the season. So she has a whole arc too. Yeah, we've been saying for 5 years that we should write a season 7. At some point, a lot of us have to sit down together and just pool a bunch of ideas or something. We're gonna have a whole board of writers or TV show.
Honestly, if we ever did that, I would be honored to be part of that writing team. That would be quite based and fun.
I imagine it would probably be us three and Aiden that would be most up for that.
It's over. Leave them be.
I intend to. There's no reason to continue at this point. Michael's little show caused quite the scene, and now everyone's looking into what happened here.
I mean, the Guardian Forces are doing the work for you for covering that up, but yeah, I have some people looking into it.
Soon they'll find the cannon, and everything else down there.
Will they know to look there?
So much
they consider
time
the
and
Ultra
planning wasted.
You know, I really don't care about the plan anymore. I'm done with all of this. Somewhere down this path, we lost a part of ourselves. The ends did not justify the means.
Very well. Back to the ocean you go. Wait.
Yeah, like she has the upper hand, man. What are you doing?
I mean, this is
not the right time.
Yeah, this is the right thing to say, but not the right time to say it.
And now?
Okay, we got a message.
I intend to get back.
I felt too scared in the YouTube stream. I've come here for comfort. Why? Oh no. Okay, if people don't know, if you're watching the VOD, at the same time as this video was being streamed on Twitch, I let Emily do another stream on on YouTube. So that probably came out that's going to come out like the day before this will be uploaded on YouTube. So I'm sort of talking to the future here, but oh my, I, as of right now, have no idea what happened in that recording. So we're going to see where this goes, I guess.
What I lost.
So you're just okay with the limited time this world has?
We were wrong about Michael, you know. He didn't want to help us. He didn't want to save anything.
Yeah, see, these lines here kind of made me think that, like, at the time, that MyStreet was going to have not only a 7th season, but also an 8th. Reason being, you've all frozen. Okay, never mind. Reason being is because I thought, like, we're going to go back to, like the balance of, you know, light-hearted, or at least light-hearted and dramatic combination, as was the case in season 5, and then we go back to like the more intense dramatic one, which would be the end of the world, and then somehow during that process we end off probably on the aphmau wedding that everyone wanted the whole time. So
like, there's also like one monkey wrench that was thrown at aphmau that probably ruined all of any plans she had.
Oh well,
and
yeah.
that monkey wrench is COVID-19.
Yes, that is what she was. That was what she explained. People say that it was also copper, but I remember that on the community tab, she actually was going to go the opposite direction to where channel's gone now. She said she would mark her videos as not for kids because obviously minor demons was a thing at this point as well. So that boat has very much sailed even before this this point.
Oh yeah, minor demons had a lot of adult jokes in it.
So you're telling me that there is another timeline where aphmau actually creates season 7 and 8 of MyStreet, and I don't live in that timeline, man.
Yeah, I know. There's a timeline when Nekowet gets more screen time too, and I will regret not living in that one. But yeah.
He wasn't planning on keeping us around after he got the power that he wanted.
It doesn't mean he wasn't right about the realm theory. If this world really is just another realm, then it too will fade.
Yeah.
Okay, but also, how do you know it's going to fade within your lifetimes? It seems like you're all talking about like how limited time of the world itself, and are they thinking about? I mean, technically speaking, this world we're living in right now will eventually come to an end as soon as the sun expands into a red supergiant. But
yes.
You know, none of us are looking into a cure for that one yet.
Yeah, and also, with the canon destroyed, how do you intend to stop any realm disintegration? Like, what are you gonna build a new one? How? Like, give me. Why are you leaving it here?
It would be like so metal if they took like the metal of the previous canon and built a new one.
They just have to like use like entirely different parts. They have to replenish all the ones that didn't work. It becomes like the canon of Theseus. Either that or Elizabeth. Elizabeth undergoes like Yoda's force training and like lifts the cannon up from the ocean.
I'm just going to let things play out the way that fate intended.
Which is not at all, apparently.
Thank you for saving me. I did not deserve it. And I owe you one.
I'd say it's a little more than just one.
Yeah.
I'll be carried the body that's behind me.
Elizabeth, you should talk to her. Before it's too late.
You should talk
Sorry,
to your daughter.
I just...
You haven't got a chance.
I don't want you to regret it. I'll catch you around.
What are
Where
you
is he
going to
going?
do?
Is there another boat?
Where's Derek?
Where's Derek? And we cut to Travis. You see what I'm saying here? They're giving us the hints.
Hey,
Hey,
looks like it's just you and me here.
Where are the doctors?
yeah,
Get ready. Get ready.
it's been a long time.
And
Not alone, buddy.
final Levi drink. Woo.
No, buddy.
There we go. Took the whole episode, but I got there.
Hey guys, Jess here.
Oh,
and
yeah, I forgot
I want
this.
to thank you all for watching MyStreet Season 6. Seriously, if you've made it this far, thank you so very much for all your support. I can't even begin to start telling you how crazy the past year has been and how much has happened in like our personal lives and throughout everything. I mean, seriously, a lot happened. Like there's a baby right here and she's absolutely adorable. But
I don't
sincerely-
know. That baby looks like it's high on something.
It looks like it's like
I mean,
like terrified because you know
it's
lot of
a
babies
small
look like
baby.
that. Yeah, a lot of like small babies will look like that, where it's like absolutely like terrified at everything ever. That's quite normal. But I also like I'm glad to see like address the facts like, oh, you know, you know what happened in our personal lives. Like we've been getting like constant pregnancy updates at this point, and also we knew the baby was born the whole time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a baby Jennifer, I think.
Thank you so very much for staying with me for this long. It's been a crazy journey, and I know this one season has taken over a year, and for that, I'm truly sorry. But you guys have been so amazing, so supportive.
Yeah, look, it's fine. You know, we've been waiting for 5 for the next one, so yeah.
And so patient that it just means so much to me. And honestly, I want to do more story content much more often, but just trust me, this past year has been so hard. So it really means so much that you guys have been here. So thank you so very much. Thank you for being so patient, and in the future, I will try harder. We will try harder. Everyone here. So thank you guys so very much for everything. Thank you for being so patient, so understanding, and just thank you. I hope you guys will look forward to more story content coming in the future, as well as new series and a lot of different things. So look forward to it. Thank you again.
Oh, we are.
So very much.
Okay, that's mean.
Give me MyStreet Season 7!
I need
Yeah, like
Let's go let this play out. I've been told not to stop the outros, and it stopped itself automatically. Okay,
Like,
that's fine.
I will unironically pay aphmau for the rights to the story to write Season 7.
I feel like
Please.
a lot of us
Give it
would, yeah.
Like, if anything, I think we should just stuff ourselves into a Discord call and write a hypothetical season 7.
Yeah, I mean, now we've watched the whole thing back again. Yeah, we're in the prime moment to do that, I suppose. I mean, I'm not because I'm in Galicia, but you know, what? So
You're
at
in
some point, I
Galicia.
am. At some
But
point,
if
I'm
it-
within this room, so I can
If
definitely
anything-
set some time aside.
If anything, we could all like come back to this at a later date and hop on like the magic school bus, but instead of going into somebody's body, we're going into aphmau.
Yeah, like
That sounds bad. Why did I phrase it like that?
no, I think I know what you meant. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know what you meant to. It's fine. It is still funny though.
Yeah. Of course. All right. Well, there we go. That was that was the last episode that is named MyStreet of 5 years later. We're not done with this series yet because we will be back to do Phoenix Drop Days, despite the fact that I was worried that this series, of course, it ended on a bang for a lot of people, and Phoenix Drop Days was just a general whimper. But as we've established here, clearly I went very
was the whimper
5 years ago.
Clearly, this isn't the bang that everybody wanted. Like, I thought this was super cool when I was a kid because I used to watch aphmau, kind of uncritically. But looking at this with a critical eye makes it make less sense.
Yeah, I always have I can't turn off my critical mind, so even as I was watching the show casually before I started reviewing it, that was still the case. Whereas okay, I'm not like on board with like everything that's happening here, but I'm still on board for the general ride, which is how I feel about a lot of shows, especially my all-time favorites like this one. So yeah, that's and then I just end up giving off that energy, and I ruined it for the entire audience. It's interesting because, like I said, MyStreet 5 years later for me started at a time after a time after I had after I had taken a break from watching aphmau for reasons that were not to do with the changes of content or anything. It was more stuff was happening to me that an aphmau content reminded me of that by no fault of her own. And also, by the time I came back was the time that the aphmau content itself started changing and went the opposite direction, as promised in Copper. And yes, they did indeed say they would try harder. They put their try points, I guess, into different baskets, mainly the visual ones, and we are left with the modern content that we have today, for better or for worse. And yeah, MyStreet 5 stage was a way to be like, okay, I need to remind some people, or to continue to talk about continue to talk about like the era of aphmau that I am most fond of in some way for even longer. Here we are 4 years after that, and that's exactly what has happened. So,
speaking of eras of aphmau, this is something I've noticed that I've told Jacob about, is that I tend to notice a cycle with Jess's content. It's that when things get too dramatic with any series, she's going to go, branch out and do something fun to kind of mitigate mitigate the exact mental health that she needs to pour into the.
Yeah,
she actively needs to put out fun energy into something. And if she's not putting out fun energy, she becomes unmotivated to do the project.
Yeah, it is also worth pointing out that like a lot of the more tragic and dramatic elements of MyStreet started when Jason began assisting with the writing process. So clearly, while I'm not saying anyway that Jess is not capable on her own of coming up with of doing like dramatic and tragic moments. I mean, season 3 was probably an example of that to some degree, and probably also finished up High season 2 a little bit. But clearly there is a stark difference that is to be considered. So yeah, as like an outlet for herself, I can see why she goes back to that, and also why the modern content which was designed as like a breather for her during COVID and just happened to catch on. I can see why that was a decision that was made in the first place. Because it's like, well, I mean, of course you're going to want to do something right after like all these years and of this and like a full year putting in all of your effort into like one specific thing, and just constantly stressing about the idea of like things not coming out on time. And I think now that a lot of us have watched these, or some people here have made our own shows in different mediums, we understand that even more. The idea that a project is going to get stretched for far too long. And and there'll be like no releases in between. It's bizarre. it's weird to me now, but like the Mutant Girl has technically aired for longer than MyStreet did at the time, but that's also mainly due to the fact that it has had like very few releases in the past like a couple of years. And I am aware of that. And but yeah, people again, I can see that I see that now. People are patient with that, and people are okay with branching out into other stuff, and they're okay with daily reviews while that stuff is being made. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you to all those people, watching the VOD right now, particularly, and to the one person watching the stream live. I forgot who Xenia corresponded to. To everyone else checking out the stream that's going on at the moment instead of this one. Emily will probably appreciate that one. Sorry, go on, Ghosty.
By the way, Xenia is blonde.
Oh, okay. All right then. Oh, okay. Now I understand why they might have felt scared in the stream, because I know it's in its Nightwolf Live collection, which is interesting because normally I have to convince Emily to do those, and she just did it herself without me. So okay, I don't know. I am wondering about how that's gonna play out.
I'm scared.
Yeah. But hey, at least we can say, we've still got one more project in 5 days to look out for, and yeah, potentially people have asked me for quite some time if we end up, now we've got to the point where people are asking like, hey, that's like, can we go back and like watch like Minor Demons or something, or some of the other aphmau projects that I have skipped because they weren't directly part of MyStreet itself. Maybe some of that might be good to do either in the meantime or afterwards. But then again, I did promise that after 5 years later would be my deep dive into My Little Pony. So yeah, still got a few. Yeah, so if we must have missed stuff for that.
I get to show Jacob that friendship is magic.
Indeed, and I will. I don't know what I will do, but I will do it. so there we go. So I guess this is not the end. Now we know Phoenix Drop Days again, but also of MyStreet. Well, even though we haven't had an actual proper MyStreet episode in officially 5 years now, we at least had the VidCon where we found out that while we're not going to get like this episode, the season 7 and 8 that I theorized about all those years ago, we at least are going to get one final season that I presume is going to, actually wrap up some of this stuff. Not to say that we ourselves will not try at this point, and it seems that we're extra motivated to do that now. We've reached one of the end points of this. So I guess stay tuned for that. At least on our end, this is very much not a goodbye, but it is the end of the video.
Not a goodbye just yet. Just a farewell for now.
Which is what I always say at the end of the video. So there you go. And I also say, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. I know it's already. Oh wait, actually, I had to establish in these episodes when the next review is. When did Phoenix Drop Days actually start? I normally
can look it up for you.
I've got it here. Phoenix Drop High is back in season. Is the description tagline. Okay. So November 23rd. Wait a minute. Okay, two things. I think we've actually got a remake of MyStreet before that, like the new house. But November 23rd, 2015 was the day that episode 1 of season 1 of MyStreet came out. So not quite the beginning because the big move was November 3rd, but I wonder if that was deliberate.
Also, good to know it came out on my birthday. Slay.
Yeah.
Slay on birthday pill.
Yes, Queen, slay.
Yeah, I forgot. There's an episode that came out on my birthday too, but I forgot which one it was. Who knows at this point? Phoenix Drop High season 1 came out 3 years exactly before Mutant Girl season 1 did. Okay, so the new house. The remake. That was... Oh, no, I missed it. It was April 27th. Okay, next episode of 5 years later will be the new House remake, and we're gonna pretend like it was on time. Okay, so we'll do that. Well, that's same time, same place, 5 years
5
later.
years later.
Until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.